Welcome. Those of y'all don't know me, probably nobody don't know me except for the people I grew up with. Welcome to the Big Dam. My name is Bobby Hill, and if those that name brings a chuckle to you, and it probably does. Yes, same name as that other Bobby Hill that's on television, King of the Hill. So you just imagine all the jokes I done got with that before. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bring it up later. So because I done heard it throughout. The time that show's been on, every time somebody see me, every time I would say like, my name is Bobby Hill. I look at their face for a second, and if they give me a little smirk, I know they know like, yeah, that you're Bobby Hill. That's funny. So someone will go, damn it, Bobby, and all this other stuff with the show. So it's sort of I'm used to it now. It's funny because it still it still goes on because the show is still running, and you know it's all fun. But yeah, you know I'd like to welcome y'all here with me. Just trying something new, trying to just want to get out my thoughts, talk about stuff I've experienced in my 51 years on this earth. I ain't trying to do anything special, anything. Just talk to you. Try to get a little following out here. Just try to talk to y'all. Y'all can talk to me from you. You can learn from me. That's how we're supposed to do it right here. I ain't here trying to feel like I'm better than nobody. Trying to feel like I'm trying to, make people look bad or nothing like that. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to be real, talk about my experiences, my feelings, and and if I can help somebody in the process, that'll be good. And if I can learn something from some of y'all in the process, that'll be good too. We're here to, like I said, we're here to help each other. That's all. Throughout all this division out here in this world right now, we still here to help each other. We got a few people out here in this world wanting to profit and see us divided and see us crumble, so they can come in and be the savior and take charge, and all they're trying to do is just enrich themselves off of our fear. So just try not to be try not to get caught up in that. Try not to. I know it's hard to because in your face every day. No, I don't want to bring that up right now. That's for later. I don't want to. It's too much for the first one. Like I said, I just want to talk about me. I'm from I was born in North Carolina. Born in Rose Hill, North Carolina. But I grew up in one county over in Sampson County, Clinton, North Carolina. And I like to I like to give a shout out. I know a lot of people, so I like to give a shout out to all my fam in Clinton. All my people in Clinton, all my friends, people who I've associated with. Everybody. It's all love. I always try to you know give people respect. I always try to be positive when I meet people. Try not to let people have a bad review of me whenever they leave me. So I just try to keep it real. Try to be, try to be honest. You know, very understanding and get along with anyone. I can get along with anyone to get along with me. As long as you don't bring your biases and whatever. As long as you don't affect me. As long as you don't. But if you're wrong, if you're wrong, you get called out. That's just how it is. That's how it is in the world. You're wrong, you get called out. Man, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes maybe I need to get called out. We all do. You know, we don't know everything. We can't do everything. We can't. We're not all knowing. We all need each other to help each other. We're not better than one another. We're all like, I don't care how much money you got, how much is we all, when we get buried, when we die, we all decompose the same damn way. So all the millions and billions you can't take with you. All them cars and houses that you got, they ain't nothing. Everybody gonna reside in the same house afterwards. Buried in the ground, or unless you cremate it, whatever, scattered somewhere. But the fact is, when you're gone, you're gone. So it don't matter, all this stuff here. Then it's not. It's immaterial. Don't stuff comes and goes. Throughout my life, and I had two house fires and lost everything. So don't get caught up on materialistic stuff. It's the memories that they can't take away. Cherish the memories, not the actual item or the actual whatever car or house. Don't be caught up on the house. Think about the memories you had in the house. They can't take that away. They can't take that away. Like I said, I'm from Clinton, North Carolina. I have a lot of history there. Have a lot of people there. I can do several podcasts about my time in Clinton, North Carolina. But nice little town. About in 1980s, it was 8,000 people in Clinton, North Carolina, and in 2026, it's still 8,000 people in North Carolina. So it lets you know what type of town it is. A lot of good people coming out of Clinton. A lot of history. We got sports history. We got football. We got girls basketball. We have a lot of good athletes that's come through Clinton. Then we've had, some people who make it. We have, of course, we also know Clinton. People would know anything about Clinton, they would know for Fast Food Parker. He come from Clinton. Made it further than any athlete ever in Clinton as far as moving up the ladder in any sport. He won. Went up to the Super Bowl. He won 2 Super Bowls. He had broke the record for the longest touchdown run. I always give my props up to my man Willie Jr. I remember when he was little. He was out here playing basketball at Fisher Rolling Park. He'd come up with his bicycle and his little dog, Junior. Then we had a couple more people make it up there to the NFL from there. You had Leonard Henry, one of my best friends. I've known him since he was like my little brother. I had two sisters. I never had a brother, so he was in the neighborhood coming up. Just naturally, he was there, and I was there. He was like a little brother to me, and I, showed him the ropes, and he grew up. Made it good for himself. Had a storied high school football career. Went to ECU. Went up to then made it to the NFL, to the Dolphins. Had dipped his toe in the NFL. We had another one, Jasmine Fell. I mean, these are the ones that people I know that I've seen on television. Jasmine Fell went up there. He went to in ECU. He had a nice career. Won state championship in Clinton. Went up to ECU. He went to Wake Forest first. Then he transferred to ECU. Then went, had a good career at ECU. Got drafted by the Dolphins. Went up there. Did a little something. Had dipped his toe in the NFL too. But what you say, man? They still, they having great careers afterward. They're still in good health. They're not. They, sometimes when you like stuff like that, whenever you in it, some people in it for a while, and it's good to be in it for a while, but sometimes there can be cost to that. You know, spend 10, 15, 20 years in that violent sport, and then by the time you turn around when you're in your 40s and 50s, next thing you know, your joints start aching, you're limping and stuff like that. So as long as you got your health and everything, so you got to be grateful for that, and you're able to get that experience, and that's great. Some people more successful than others, and like that's the way life is. That's the way it is. Got to get over it. Everybody ain't gonna. We are equal as far as human beings, but the way this world is, everybody don't. Some people make it, some people don't. It's just the way it is. It ain't no, you know. Don't mean somebody's a better person than you. Don't mean so whatever. They just things in their path open up for them, and it might not then open up for you. Or this person had the different mentality than somebody else. And they wanted to do. Maybe they wanted it more. So but just because you didn't go there, don't mean that your life is a failure or you didn't do anything, or because there's a lot of avenues in this world to make it. You just there's just not one road to the top of the mountain. There's a lot of roads. You just gotta pick which road you want to. And when you're going down that road, and if you hit a roadblock, you can either go over it, go around it, but get through it. You know. Well, get back at it. Like I said, where I'm from, 'cause I'm from Clinton, North Carolina. There was a lot of things going on there. Want to say, I played sports. Like all kids, I played. I played. My first love is baseball. Played baseball since I was 5 years old. Played basketball, and of course, I played football. You know, and I enjoyed all that. I enjoyed my teammates. I enjoyed playing with people coming up and stuff. So, but as I get older, got older and stuff, I started narrowing things down. I stopped playing baseball. I wish I hadn't, but things happen. Played basketball, football. I was pretty good. I was a good athlete. I think I was a good athlete. I just, maybe I could have tried harder, but maybe with the right coaching, I would have. But that's a whole nother story. Don't want to, get into that right now. That's a whole nother category. We have a whole show about that. So, but then like I said, they don't do it pretty good. I just had pretty good experiences coming up. Played against some good competition. You know, the one the one that stands out was in my eighth grade year. I'll tell you a little story about eighth grade year. We played against so we're from Sampson County, North Carolina. So it's a little backstory. So in Clinton, we had a little reputation. And Sampson County is the largest county in North Carolina. It's a lot of space, but there's not a lot of people in there. So we had a lot of schools, middle school. We have four schools in there. We have four county schools and we had Clinton city schools. So but we had a reputation. We used to be violent, get in fights and stuff with the kids with the county schools and stuff. So we stopped playing them. So as a result, we had to go outside of the county to schedule schools to play. So my eighth grade year, my Coach Charles Strickland, one of the greatest, my fault, the greatest coach in Clinton history, Charles Strickland, book it. But we had to get he had to start scheduling schools outside of Sampson County, and one school that he scheduled was this school called Woodington, it was Savannah Middle School. So we was about to play. We just played Woodington Middle School. I was the tallest person on that team. I was only 5'11". No, I wasn't even about 5'10". One of the tallest person on the team. So we played this team on Woodington. They had this guy up here. He was probably like 6'4". No, about 6'2", 6'3". Did pretty good on him. We beat them actually. But little did we know that was just a setup for something else. So the next few days we came back. We played in Savannah Middle School. So they had another guy. This guy was like 6'5", and he came out. Big head, everything, 6'5". He looked like a grown man out here. I had to guard. He started, fast break, dunking, jumping over stuff and everything. He dropped about 42 points. He started about 47 points on us. I asked the coach afterwards, and I looked at the stat box. They had a little boxes and stuff. So we used to look at stuff whenever look at the scores and stuff after the game. So I asked the coach and I looked at the stat box and I looked at it and I seen the name of the Jerry Stackhouse. He dropped 42 points on us first. Okay. They killed us. Okay, it happens. A couple weeks later, we play. We come back up here and play them. So this time beginning, he has a cat. When he come out, he has a cast on his arm. So we saw like, oh shoot, he ain't gonna play, man. He got a cast on his arm and everything. He might not play it now. Whatever. So um, get ready for warm up after the girls play. We warm up, get ready to play, and he comes out. Excuse me. After he comes out, we like, oh shoot, what are you gonna do? He comes out. He has a cast on his left hand. And he's right-handed, man. He came out dunking. Same thing. He dropped 47 points on us with a cast on his arm. Jerry Stackhouse, 6'5", eighth grade. Yes, a beast. I like this so far. I like playing. I like doing this so far. I like talking this so far. I like talking to y'all so far. Just like I said, just a little experiment, man. Just grassroots effort, man. Just talking to y'all and seeing where it goes. I'm not gonna sit up here and make any predictions or say anything. I'm just talking to you. Just talking to you. Talking to my people. People don't get talked to all the time. They can come holler at me. Just it's all. I ain't sitting here trying to like that. Ain't sitting up here trying to, move the world, nothing like that. I'm just up here trying to give you one of my thoughts, man. Just trying to talk to you, just like everybody else. I got something to say. It's like, from North Carolina, man. Just like Andre 3000, man. The South got something to say. I got something to say, homie. But yeah, right now I live in, like I said, I've been in North Carolina. I was living in Clinton, North Carolina. I went to college up there, and I was there for like 45 years, 45, 46 years, and I moved to San Antonio, Texas, and I've been here in Texas for the past 5 years, and I love it here in Texas. I started driving trucks back in 2015, and, I went all over the country, all over the little 48 states. And the one state, there was a couple of states that are really beautiful. And I wouldn't mind saying that. But the one that really caught my attention was Texas. In the very first moment I came into Texas, yes, you know, everything is bigger in Texas. There's a lot of space out here. There's a lot, on the highways and stuff. There's a lot of space. Don't get me wrong, man. People be out here, they out here wilding too, just like everywhere else. They be wilding. They be on the highway wilding. I mean, it's fast and furious out there. There's parts of the highway that the speed limit 85 miles an hour. It's real out there. It is real. It is real. And you see in my background right here, yes, I think he the GOAT. Yes, don't even get that conversation. Michael Jordan, GOAT. Seeing, I started watching basketball whenever, he won. I was born in 1975. I can't really, I'm pretty sure probably my family probably had it on, but I never had any memories of watching. I never had any memories of watching basketball until the year that North Carolina won the national title, 1982. So when I remember started watching basketball, Michael Jordan was just coming into his own in North Carolina. Michael Jordan was just coming his own in North Carolina. So I sort of grew up watching him, just, seeing what he does and just, the eye test. I watched Michael Jordan's entire career. I watched Kobe Bryant's entire career, and I watched LeBron James' entire career. And I just, just Mike. That's all. I don't want to go into it right now. Just, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be plenty of time to do that. But yeah, just Jordan, just what he's able to accomplish in the period of time he's able to accomplish and the effect that he has. No, he don't have the most points. No, he don't have the most titles. You know, But look what he was able to do. He didn't run to nowhere. He didn't run to nobody. He sat there, you know, Here's the thing: people want to call him, people want to talk about being a loser and stuff because he didn't win a title. That's the case. Everybody a loser. They call him a loser because the Bulls wasn't good enough to advance in early in their career. I tell you this: yes, the Bulls weren't good enough, and yes, they lost. The Bulls lost. I tell you one thing: they never lost a game because of Michael Jordan. They lost the game because they didn't. The team wasn't good enough. They never lost a game because Michael Jordan wasn't good enough. You can't say that about Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. You can look on the biggest stage where they have lost games because of them, because of something that they've done or didn't do. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James quit on their team. It's something you can never say that Michael Jordan has ever done. Did he have the best shooting night? No. Did he have, did he did a triple double? Did he no? But one thing he did not do, he did not quit. Period. He did not run from a challenge. He didn't sit up here, he couldn't beat Larry Bird, so he didn't go join the damn Celtics. He couldn't be in the early. He didn't beat the Pistons. He didn't go join the Pistons. Nah. And yes, '87 or whatever they drafted, Pippen. They drafted Horace Grant. But and then they got good and they started winning. They became good enough to win series and stuff. And then they used that to say, okay, he didn't win anything without Pippen. Pippen averaged about 5 points a game. Jordan averaging 35. He averaging 5. So tell me what Pippen do to really help him. Nah, he helped the team get better. He had a team become more complete so they can win a series. But no, it wasn't because of Pippen, because of 23. Period. And Pippen was a good sidekick. He was the luckiest sidekick, period. Because if he would have stayed on Seattle Seahawks, no, if he would have been the Seattle Seahawks, he would have been on the Seattle Supersonics. It wouldn't have been Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen would have been he would have been a journeyman if he would have stayed on the Seattle. And you know that. That's real. Just telling you, man. I like to keep it real. I like to talk about, current events, talk about what's going on. There might be times where I like lean heavy towards sports, because, I like sports. I like sports, and sports is interesting to talk about. Talk about politics a little bit, but I don't feel like doing that because I don't feel like it's just people get so charged right now about politics, especially if you don't believe the way they believe. Well, people don't know how to communicate whenever they don't believe, whenever they don't agree with you, man. Some people have a hard time communicating, so it's sort of a touchy subject about they say politics and religion. Yeah, so you might dabble into it a little bit, but no, I ain't trying to, I'm not trying to get all into that, man. I don't got time to be sitting arguing with people about this, about what they believe in and who they believe Jesus is and all this. I don't got time for all that. Because I don't got time, you ain't trying to hear what I gotta say, especially if I say something that hurts yours, that goes against your sensibilities or your beliefs. You sort of, yeah, all that. Nah, I ain't think of all that. Ain't like that. Ain't like that. But yeah, at least this I grew up in a black poor, grew up poor as far as financially, but family wise, we was rich. We had family, we had friends, we had community and stuff. You know, more community than we have now. But we still had our shortcomings and stuff, but we still grew up with our family. Family with our friends, and they gave us a strong base. To have a good head on our shoulders. Have some common sense to be able to handle this world outside of Clinton, North Carolina. And that's That's one thing that I'm glad I got able to get up out of there because I got North Carolina, man. Just to me, everybody love it. Everybody love the love. I've been all over the country. People, I tell them where I'm from. People, oh my God, I wish I could go to North Carolina. It's so beautiful. I'd love North Carolina. I would like to go. I'm like, wow, let's trade places. But nah, I mean, to I guess the people that don't, it's not from there, they'll feel differently. And I guess the state that they're from, they'll feel the same way. If I be like, oh my God, I want to go live, they'll be like, wow. So I mean, it's nice. You got the mountains, you got, beaches are terrible. I don't care what y'all say. North Carolina beaches got the worst coastline. North Carolina got the worst beaches in America. All you got is, oh my God, it's terrible. There's no entertainment. Why do you think people either go to Virginia Beach or damn Myrtle Beach? Because there ain't nothing in North Carolina. Who the hell can go to Carolina Beach? Only reason you go to Carolina Beach, you get some damn donuts. That's it. Other than that, why you go there for? They had a Jubilee Park. That thing shut down years ago. Oh my God. It was just, I'm going to talk about that. That's a whole nother story. For real. But yeah, I grew up poor, like I said, learn, but growing up poor builds character. I feel like that growing up without builds character. You learn how to persevere. You learn how to, take advantage of stuff, of things, that you know, learn how to have ingenuity, learn how to make the most with less. Learn how you learn skills, learn how to do stuff with your hands. You learn how to, you learn how to fall and pick yourself up. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed if you, didn't come up with it, didn't have a lot, or if you don't have a lot. Be ashamed of that. Just build character. Use that as fire. Use that as fire to get up off your ass and do something. You get mad, get up and do something. Don't do nothing crazy. Gonna get you locked up. Go ahead and get a job. Go ahead and learn something. Go ahead and try to create something in this world. There's no, like I said, there's no one way to do something. So don't, you don't got to be sitting up here. A 9 to 5 ain't for everybody. They ain't asked for everybody. Go up here and try to, find your way in this world. Go find your damn niche. You know, it might not, might take you a while, but you won't know until you find out. You won't know until you try. You got to try. Got to try. And don't let nobody define what success is to you. You know what you need to do to be successful. Don't let nobody else define that for you. You know? But one thing, something that came up by, I always say I'm going to talk about our black folks. What we need to do with black people, we need to start lying to our kids. We need to start telling our damn kids the truth about people. Kids come up here, we have family members. All of us have no family members, Little baby come up, little kid. I even like that too, man. Little, we had somewhere at a family gathering, man, and after, man, you come up, hey, ma, ma, well, uncle was stinking over there. She's like, well, sit your ass over there if I whoop your ass. Sit over there, you know, ma, why my cousin got an extra toe? Boy, what the fuck, what you doing? And there's I mean, ma, ma, ma. Why my aunt got cross-eyed? Man, what? I'm gonna knock your ass cross-eyed. You wanna go somewhere? man, this till I get trouble, man. Be like, why my cousin smell like that? Be like, cause he a stinking motherfucker. He don't wash his damn ass. That's what you tell them. Ma, don't be afraid to do that. Stop lying these kids, man. These kids have, cause trust me, they're gonna find out one way or another, or they're gonna come up with their own opinion. Don't be afraid to tell them. We kids about family, man. The family ain't living right. Don't let these kids let them know. Hey, he ain't living right. Hey, he ain't something happened. Hey, nah, he locked up. Hey, he ain't. Don't be like no free. What's his name? Don't be like free him. Nah, he did the crime. Let him sit there. Let him sit there and think about what he did. You don't got to free him. No, let him sit there and think about what he did. That's what I feel like in our community, man. We gotta stop lying, stop covering up stuff, man. Our kids can handle a lot of stuff, man. Just tell them the truth. They need to know the truth. Stop making them think that they crazy and stuff when they really not crazy. It's really happening, but y'all wanna, you know, as black folks, man, we want to cover up stuff, man, just to cover up, stuff that you did, back in damn 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever, you know. Can't be doing that, man. You can't. You gotta. Don't be afraid to open up to your kids. Don't be afraid to let your kids know. Kids can handle a lot. Kids can handle a lot. And I can handle a lot too, man. We've been all over the place up here, man. But that's how I've been, man. I just want to sit here and talk to y'all, man. However we go, wherever the wind takes us, that's where we're gonna go at. I ain't gonna sit up here and say, when I, sit up here and say that we're gonna exactly what we're gonna talk about. I can know what we would like to talk about, but if they ain't go to another area, then we can do that. That's all. I'm just saying. I feel like I can. I feel like I trust y'all that we can do that and still maintain the integrity of this show and just do our thing. You know. But I'm just here for y'all, man. Just here to keep it real with y'all, man. Just here to just here to express myself. Just here to just talk to y'all. Just here to just chat. Get stuff off my chest. Like I said, hopefully y'all feel me and we can we can move on. We can move forward together. You know, like I said before, I know a lot of people throughout my life. And encounter a lot of people. Basically, in one show, I can't sit up here and just mention like everybody in one show. So I can mention a few people. First of all, I'd like to mention I got to shout out to my beautiful wife, Sandra Yvette. It's a lot of hell. I mean, she's my number one. She's my ride or die. She's, she's been very supportive of me doing this. You know, she's been there. For men, you want to be a king, you got to have a queen. All successful kings had a queen, not behind him, beside him. You know, and That's the thing about it, man. Is trying to learn how to, you know, navigate through these waters like in a relationship, man. To me, I can only give you what I feel. I have, failed relationships, everything like that. All I can say is, it's knowing when to. It's about being a king. It's about being a queen. Yes, that's very important. But it's also about knowing when, knowing when to lead and knowing when to let your own partner lead. You can't lead in everything. You're a unit. Y'all is one. You're not him and her. You're them. You're not them. You're as one. So just because she leads on something doesn't take away your value as a king. That strengthens your value as a king. Just like when you help her out, you strengthen her value as a queen, and together y'all strengthen as a couple. You know, it's not you're not in competition. You dare to help each other. You dare to help whenever you dare to help each other where they can't help themselves. You know, have the other person see something that you probably can't see because you've just been focused to see stuff a certain way. So that person is your other half, so they can help you see. And that's what she's done for me. You know, down here in Texas, like I said, I don't have no family down here. had a failed marriage down here. Got through that. Met my lovely wife now, and she's been a godsend to me. In so many different ways. We here right now, and going strong. She's 100% supportive. I would have her, up here talking with me as I just try to get this podcast up and running. Getting it growing. Yeah, she will be up here with me. So we do this together. That's how we do it. That's how I get down. Period. Like give a shout out, Clinton. Give a shout out to my mom, my pops, Linda Kirby, Bobby Kirby, my siblings, Donna Hill, Kimberly Kirby, my children, my daughter, my son Elijah, my daughter Samira Trinity in Victoria. Elijah, Samira, and Trinity are I think they're in Maryland, and Victoria's in Clinton, North Carolina. Shout out to my children. I love y'all to death. I wish things could be, better, but at the time, like I said, there's all things can always change in the future. I want to get in all that, like what happened, things between all that. That's just, not now, not now. I don't need that. That's later. But I love you, and Dad is always here. So shout out to all my nieces, my nephew, Quentin, his wife Haley, his sons. Let me see, can I get it right? QJ, Eli. No, yeah, no, not Eli. Eli is my son. What are you talking about? No, QJ, Levi, and Ezekiel. Yes, that's what they are. Yes, little man. No, he's great. That's my nephew is a great man. That's all I'm saying. He just I saw him. He was born all the way up. He just did everything. He doing everything the right way. Got a beautiful family, doing stuff. So salute nephew. Salute nephew. I love you. No, my nieces, my niece Kiana is working on being a nurse right now. She's doing her thing. Keep your head up, sweetheart. You got it. I love the way you look at life, and you got you got a spark in you. I just it's infectious, and I just like to see you working hard, trying, and keep going. My other nieces, my twin nieces, Crystal, Christian, and then their little sister Cameron. Not little sister, I'm sorry, I'm trying little sister, but their younger sister, Cameron. Beautiful young ladies, they work hard. Cameron's in college right now. Keep your head up and you're just getting in there. You're in your second year. I think you're second year, and you're almost halfway done. Do your thing. You always got my support. Crystal and Christian. Watch y'all when y'all little. Watch y'all become beautiful young women. Professional women still, getting master's degrees and everything. So keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. Do it wherever you get as much education as you can and go as far as you can go in here. There's no limit. Your only limit is what you imagine. So let's see. Got my. Oh, I got my grandson. I'm sorry, I got to think because I got so many people. I got my grandson, Kaiser Tremaine Lee Hill. He just, man, I ain't seen him in a while. I ain't seen him in a few years, But, love him. I met a little time, met him. I love him. Just hope I get to meet him again in the future. We'll see how things go. So, get my aunts, my aunties. We got a Mexican wife now, so my tias, Aunt Macy, my Aunt Ada, they're my second mothers. They learn a lot from them. Give a shout out to them. All my cousins. Oh my God, I can name so many. Just Can't name everybody. And tell them how that my boy Aunt Live, what up, home, Jazz. Either one. As a matter of fact, I got a little story with this too. I'm sorry, getting off topic. Not saying this is on topic. This is how I got the name of this show. You know, my man, one of my he's my classmates. He won, known him for a long time. You know, Jazz Joe Killer. One thing I used to always get about Joe was Joe always had a nickname for everybody. You call it anybody named Joe got a nickname for every single person. That's he always got a nickname. So every time I used to come up, it was him and my man, I forgot his real name. Oh, bro, man. And what was his name? His last name Washington. I forgot his first name, but he called him bro, man. And my man, Johnny Jinx, that we call him. Every time I used to come up to see him, I used to come up to right on Kennedy Street. Every time I get out the car, they'll be like, the big damn Bobby Bob. That's what they always say. Even my man, Kitty Fisher, Scott, these AKA Scott LaRock. Get well, homie. Get well, my brother. But every time they come up, they used to go, the big damn Bobby Bob. Every single time. So then, after a while, it was Brumman and Joe, Jack. They broke it down. They took Bobby Bob off. So every time they come up, they'd be like, the big damn. Every time I walk out, the big damn. So that was and that's where I got that from. My bad Jazz. Shout out to my bad Six, Travis Banks. My bad Rock, J Date. Like I said, Fast Willie. Shout out Willie Park. My man known since he was young. Spool, Jody. So much. Fuzzy Fuzz, Kudoa. Lusani Yeah. Anonymous. Shout out, salute. I'd like to give a shout out, special shout out to my man, Byron Rexter. Anonymous, my man has lost so much over the past few months, man, and he's still here going strong, man. I got to give a salute, man. That's what I'm saying. Growing up like that, man, you learn character and stuff, man. You learn how to deal with loss and stuff, and still keep your still keep your composure. I know it's hard for him every day, man. I like to give a salute out to him, man. I couldn't imagine losing what he lost in a short period of time and still be doing this good. And still be, out here maintaining. So shout out. And shout out to my man, Damon Caldwell. Hey, one love, my man. I'm glad your little king, I'm glad your young king is doing this thing, man. Which I'm gonna be watching him in school, man. Do his thing, son. I know he come from you. I know where his blood come from. So I know he's real. I know he's authentic. He's bona fide. Shout out to my man Fulio. Shout out to Buttweed, Trini, Scanner, Poke Deals, Nino, Samuel Manuel. Shout out to my boy. I gotta do a rest in peace to my man, to my brother, Chill Will Manor. Shout out to my down boy James Caldwell. Personal. Real shout out, rest in peace. Shout out to my down cousins, close cousins, black brothers. Original Black One and Brown Hill. That's my fam. The life was taken away, prematurely. I want to get into that, but I just want to say, love. Oh my God. Shout out to my it's gonna be crazy. Shout out to my I like to talk sports a lot. So, I used to like a lot of, sports. Like, debate shows and stuff. I used to watch all that. Before I started driving trucks, then got away from all that. So, But I still get it in doses. But one place where I get it from, I used to get a lot from is from this group I got, my Facebook group. Uh, TSWDG, Talking Sports with that guy. Shout out to him, man, Damon Whitehead, D Whitehead. My man, and we were friends for a long time since high school. He went to James Kennan school I should have went to, but that's a whole nother story. But he went there. We became friends and stuff. He was a very good friend, and my man Gerald Parker Jr. I went up to Pittsburgh driving trucks, and I met him. He was a good dude. Gave me some of that good food ahead. But can't wait to come back up to other Pittsburgh to get some more of that food, man. And y'all let me know something, man. When y'all do that cookout again, man. I'm trying to go. I missed it. I want y'all to get that up. I want to meet all y'all, man. All the fellas, all of them, all of them. A few off the top of my head was it my man Ronald Gorn, Mackie McMillan. Um, who else? Who else is up there? What's his name? Dre Haney, Joe Johnson. Think of some more. Jeff Yo. I don't know. You don't know no mind at the top of my head. All of them, all of y'all. Y'all know what time it is. All of y'all. Let's see. Kev Hope. No. All of y'all. Give a shout out to y'all, man. I'm just saying, y'all very entertaining. I watch y'all, I listen to y'all. I just chime in whenever I can. You're very entertaining. Very intelligent. You know what you know. A little bit of trolling, a little bit, just fun. That's all it is. Just fun. That's all. It ain't nothing serious. It's just entertainment. That's all. You know. Well, for real, I just I just like to appreciate, with y'all. If anybody, and like I said, some people want to come up here and vibe with me and stuff, man. I just like I said, this first time doing this, man. I just like to show appreciation, Like I said, and I'll be coming back. We coming back. We're gonna get better and better at this. This is like a rough draft on the paper. On the job learning. I ain't not about doing you know doing an imitation session. Nah, I'm out here. I'm doing it with y'all right now. This is me, live, uncut, unfiltered. We just talking, trying to get this vibing with each other. And that's how it's gonna be. It ain't nothing. We're gonna be serious. There's gonna time we're gonna be serious. There's gonna be time we're gonna be playful. There's gonna time we're gonna be. Times we're gonna cut up, laughing and stuff. And then with time, we're gonna have to look at each other in the mirror and see what's going on. Like, what's real? What we doing here? And be honest with yourself. You know, we talk about, like I said, we're gonna hit some sports up, hit some current events up. Might even talk about some relationship stuff. Like I said, I do got my queen. I do have fair relationships, so I do got knowledge. And talk to us men. For example, you give one advice, man. Don't be ashamed to go to the store and get your women some damn pads. Stop being ashamed to go buy some damn pads. It's okay. You her man. You supposed to know when it. You supposed to know what size coverage. I mean, what type of coverage that she need, or what type of flow that she has, or what type of what level of protection that she need. You got to know all that stuff, man. You got to know all of that. You got to know if she needs some damn mini pads, or do she needs some damn panty liners, or do she need some heavy flow overnight? You got to know all that, man. You got to know all that. Don't let these cats anything. Hey man, no, forget know all that. Don't be ashamed of all that. Don't be ashamed that man. I'm just saying it'll make your life better if you already got it. She that time of month she starts saying, "Oh, I need bam, you got it for right there." Before she even say, "Baby, I need you got it for," and there you go right there. You know. It's one less damn stressful moment that you have to deal with. All right, don't be ashamed, man. Listen to your woman, man. Listen to her. Listen to her. Listen to her. Don't be afraid to, go get stuff. Don't be afraid to go on Walmart and get her a pack of them 3-pack panties for $3.99. Don't be afraid to go get that. Don't be afraid to go get that, man. You gotta spend no damn all this money on all these different drawers, man, because they all coming off, so you don't gotta sit there and spend all that money, man. Get you about $3.99. Get you some nice lace drawers. Make sure they ain't some that somebody don't worn before, because you don't want that nobody else done call. Well, don't be afraid to do that. Hey, I'm just saying, romance on a budget. Sometimes that's the best romance, man. You gotta spend money to sit here and be all romantic. It's all about, it's about the gesture. It's not about like it ain't about how much money you spend. You spend all this money sometimes and nothing, nothing, nothing. You go home or you go to bed, you're knocked out. You wake up like, damn, all this money for nothing. See what I'm saying? Just sometimes, hey, shit. Get some Walmart panties and some damn tacos, and you good. Trust me. Get you a glass of wine, some tacos. While you walk around them Walmart Walmart panties, you good. I'm telling you, don't be ashamed of that. It ain't all that. If they comfortable, look, she will love them. If they comfortable, it don't matter where they come from, as long as they comfortable. This is all about comfort. It don't matter, you know. Comfort and coverage. Thank you later. We'll be having more relationship advice as the time goes by. I don't know it all. I do not have all the answers, but a little something. Being for a little bit, all these, all this experience, then I done gained some sort of knowledge, something. If I can help somebody out, man, if I can help these little youngsters out, help somebody out, to keep them from, keep them together or keep them from making a mistake. Hey, if it's worth it, then I do it. I don't care. It's, one of them things. Like I said, I get shot to a man live. We're gonna do this, man. I want, we're gonna be coming up here with me later, later time, man. We can sit and cut it up and stuff. We can talk about when oh my God, we're gonna bring him up too. I'm gonna introduce y'all to this man, boy. This is the most unique individual on this planet. Name is Sugar Bear. What up, Sugar Bear? Give a shout out to Sugar Bear. Hey man, what the hell you doing? Shut me on this goddamn podcast, man. I own that podcast, man. You own it. I can hear it right now. What up, Bear? My man. That Bear, yeah. I can't. We'll be talking about him later too. That's my man, Sugar Bear. Hey, how that damn Bobby Hill done shot me out on damn podcast. Don't put it on damn podcast, man. Who the hell you think he is, man? That's Bear, right? Hey, that's how we get down. But shout out, man. Like I said, more. He says, I remember people, man, I shout you out, show some love. I said, cause I love all my people in Clinton, man. Love all my peeps, man. Everybody I counted with, whether good, bad, I counted, made me to the person I am today. So whatever, man, I'd like, give a shout out, give a shout out to all my peeps in Methodist College and Fayetteville State. Oh my God, it'll take me an hour just to name out all these people, man. But shout out to my roommate. Hey, shout out to my roommate, Matt Merritt, Jess Lavelle, Derek George. Yeah. Shout out to my boys, Andre Johnson, Ernest Ferguson, Corey Johnson, Earl Fountain. Let's see, who had Ben Pope. I remember Sean Washington. Who my man? Nate. My man Nate had a beamer. He's a pastor now. My man Nate, he was a good man. He was a good man. An old basketball player. Remember Scott? You called him Scotty Sherman. Remember what's the man name with the afro? They could draw real good. I forgot his name, but it'll pop up. But I remember, yeah, there was I think his name was Stu. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to anybody else I forgot. Big Burt, Dwayne Burton. Remember him? Yeah, just my peeps at Federal State. You know, Bronco Pie. When they go attitude check, Bronco Pie, talking outside of your neck, all that. Shout out to everybody. I remember, got into the modeling up there, Illusions and Black Millennium. Shout out to them if they're still around. I think they are, but shout out to them. You know, I had a good time out there. I really had good memories out there at Federal State, man. Rest in peace to my boys Dre and Big Glenn. Those are my boys out there. Had some fun up there at Federal State. As we get into it and we talk, going to the future, we'll talk about, I talk about my times up there. It was HBCU. That's pretty good times up there, Had some pretty good times. Sure wish I'd have took it more seriously when I was there, but, whatever. Can't tell them right hand the time, so ain't gonna sit there and cry with spilt milk. So it's, it is what it is. I'm here now, you know? And we are about, I'm saying, we are doing this thing for y'all. We sitting up here trying to, simply trying to, bring you my perspective, trying to help you out. Hopefully one day, if it just helps you out one time, if it just helps you out at all, just hoping, it does. Hoping I could, make your day, or, you know, give you peace of mind or something, or some confirmation about something, anything. If I can do anything to help you out, that's what I want to do. I'm here to help you. You know, like I said, I hope, y'all will be here for the same thing with me. Help me out. You know, here we all struggle. At times I be struggling, you might need some helpful words, might be a message or something that uplifts me for the day or something. So, like I said, we all here to help each other out. And that's all I want to do. You know? All this is going on in the world out here, the attack on the media and all this stuff out here, man. I'm just trying to be, bring a little bit of honesty with you, man. I'm not coming from a point of, any kind of status or anything. I'm coming to you from ground level. I'm talking to you from ground level. Talking to where the people at. This how we feeling. This what's going on. I'm one of you. No matter where this takes me, I'm one of you. Always. Always. And never forget where I'm from. Never forget where I'm at. Always help. I'm always help somebody. I'm that person. I will always help. I was always help people that needs help. If I can able to do it, you know, if I can, when I'm able to do it, in the other ways, it's not, just one way you can help. I help in all ways. If I can help financially, I can. If I can help other ways, I can do that. So I can do what I can. So. So we go from there. So I want to be here with you for, we starting out, be with you for an hour. Hopefully, try to come back tomorrow, give you an hour. We'll go from there. I appreciate y'all staying here with me. I appreciate y'all, wanting to come here and, vibe with me and stuff, and I hope, whoever hear this, I hope you can come back. I'll come back tomorrow doing the same thing. We'll go somewhere. We'll have more. We'll try to get some topics going and stuff like this. But I just wanted to chat with y'all, man. Introduction. See where we. Let's see where I'm at, man. Just cut it up a little bit. Ain't no direction right now. We just seeing where we at right now. We just take it where we go. Like we're in a rowboat out here with no, with the sails open, man, just seeing where the wind takes us. That's what we're gonna do out here, man. We ain't sitting up there. We ain't gonna be held into a box and be like, we just gonna do this and just gonna do that. Nah, we just gonna go where the wind takes us. That's what we're gonna do. You know. Hopefully, it'll be somewhere special. You know. If it's somewhere special for me, I'm gonna make it special for you. That's how we get down. You know. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here today. Want to appreciate y'all for being part of the big down. And hopefully you can come back again and we'll do this thing tomorrow. And we'll talk to you. You have a nice day. Que tengas un buen día.